National Electrical Code Section 334.10.3 addresses uses permitted for non-metallic sheathed cable, also known as NM cable. This section generally allows NM cable to be used in normally dry locations. The specific allowance you mentioned regarding your commercial building with an open truss ceiling and insulated drop ceiling hinges on whether the space above the drop ceiling can be considered a normally dry location and if the insulated ceiling tiles provide adequate protection consistent with the code. The phrase exposed or concealed is also important here. Exposed wiring methods are visible and accessible, while concealed wiring methods are rendered inaccessible by the building structure or finish. In your situation, the NM cable in the open truss area above the drop ceiling would likely be considered exposed since it is not behind a permanent building finish like drywall. However, the code does not explicitly prohibit NM cable in exposed locations in commercial buildings unless other factors apply, such as it being subject to physical damage. Considering the absence of a fire-rated assembly, the key question is whether the insulated ceiling tiles provide a degree of protection equivalent to what the code envisions for NM cable installations. The code refers to a 15-minute finish rating. This refers to the fire resistance of a material for a duration of 15 minutes under specific testing conditions. This rating is often associated with fire-rated assemblies, which are designed to contain a fire for a specified period, allowing occupants to evacuate and firefighters to respond. Insulated ceiling tiles are primarily designed for acoustic and thermal insulation, not fire protection. While they may offer some degree of fire resistance, it's unlikely they are specifically tested and rated to provide a 15-minute finish rating equivalent to a material like gypsum board. To determine code compliance, one must consider if the insulation meets the intent of the NEC to ensure safety. Firstly, the building inspector is the final authority on code interpretation and enforcement. Their determination is paramount. Secondly, consult the product specifications for the insulated ceiling tiles. Look for documentation or testing reports that explicitly state the fire resistance rating of the tiles. If the manufacturer provides data confirming a 15-minute finish rating according to a recognized standard test, it could support the argument for compliance. Thirdly, if the insulated ceiling tiles do not have a 15-minute finish rating, consider alternative wiring methods for the area above the drop ceiling. Options include using conduit, such as electrical metallic tubing or flexible metal conduit, or using cable types suitable for exposed locations in commercial buildings, such as MC cable. These alternatives provide better physical protection and may be required to meet code. Fourthly, ensure the NM cable is properly supported and secured to the building structure, as required by the NEC. This helps prevent physical damage and ensures the cable remains in place. Fifthly, check for local amendments to the NEC. Some jurisdictions may have stricter requirements for wiring methods in commercial buildings, so it's important to be aware of any local regulations that apply. Sixthly, consider fire stopping. Any penetrations through fire-rated walls or ceilings should be properly fire-stopped to maintain the integrity of the fire-rated assembly. This is generally not applicable to your scenario as the drop ceiling isn't fire-rated, but it is a good practice to be aware of in general electrical work. Seventhly, ensure proper clearances. Maintain adequate clearances between the NM cable and any heat-generating equipment, such as recessed lighting fixtures. This helps prevent overheating and potential fire hazards. Eighthly, consider future access. Ensure the NM cable is installed in a manner that allows for future access for inspection and maintenance. Avoid burying the cable under insulation or other materials that would make it difficult to reach. Ninthly, documentation is important. Keep records of all electrical work, including permits, inspections, and product specifications. This can be helpful in demonstrating compliance with the NEC and resolving any issues that may arise in the future. Tenthly, it is permissible to use NM cable in locations where not subject to physical damage. If the NM cable is installed in a way that would preclude physical damage, then the installation method would be compliant. Keep in mind that using NM cable above a drop ceiling in a commercial building requires careful consideration of the NEC and local building codes. While NM cable is permitted in some locations, it may not be appropriate for all situations. When in doubt, consult with the qualified electrician or electrical inspector to ensure the installation meets all applicable requirements and is safe.